is Kimmy, and I got to hang out with Natasha Negovanless. Like, what the fuck? I got to hang out with Natasha Negovanless. In case you want proof, here it is. There she is. That's Natasha right there. Yeah, that ugly thing is me right here. That's me. I'm wearing a different shirt though. And she also was cool enough to sign my copy of the Diva mag, which was kind of cool. But how in the frack did I get to meet Natasha Negovanless? Well, that's pretty simple. I went to the Queer Screen Mardi Gras Film Festival in Sydney, Australia, where Natasha attended to premiere the Carmilla movie for the first time in Australia, which is freaking awesome. If you have not seen the Carmilla movie, what are you doing with your life? You need to get on that, like, now. Well, no. After the video, then go do it. If you don't know who in the heck Natasha Negovanless is, you need to Rude! If you don't know who Natasha Negovanless is, you need to go to your YouTube search bar and type in Carmilla, C-A-R-M-I-L-L-A, scroll down until you find Kinda TV, and boom, your mind will be opened to the amazingness that is the Carmilla series and its amazing cast members. Here I am plugging a show I'm not even in. Hit me up, Kinda TV. I'm pretty awesome. That's a lie, I'm not that awesome. Yeah, so this is gonna be kind of a story time video where I tell you of my journey, of how in the frack I got to meet Natasha and what she was like in person. First things first, I was pretty bummed out because I found out that the Carmilla movie was playing in Australia like 2 months after they told everybody. So I had no way in hell of getting tickets to this event. Like, I found out like 3 days before the event actually took place, so I was pretty, you know, with getting tickets to that. But, magic happened. I swear it did. I was on Twitter one day, because sometimes I do that. Not often, but I do that sometimes. And, the Carmilla series tweeted from their account that they were giving away tickets to the Carmilla movie screening in Sydney, and I was like, I want to go to that! So the question was, what city does Natasha Negovanless live in? And I was like, I know that one! I know that! It's Toronto, by the way, in case you didn't know. So I replied, Toronto! Just like that. And I did not win. I didn't win at all. But some kind cream puff, who is from California, saw my tweet and was like, hey! I live in California, I just won tickets, do you want mine? And I was like, yes, I do want your tickets. So, they gave me their tickets. Mind you, I was at work while this was happening. I was working, during the night. It was around 7:30 p.m. And I was standing in front of my boss, just reading on my phone, and I'm like, he's gonna yell at me. He didn't yell at me, thank you for that. So I was in front of my boss, and I got an email, and I was like, I'll read it, I don't care. And then, in the palm of my phone, I was holding 2 tickets to the entire event, and I was like, yeah! So, and then my boss was like, what is wrong with you? Like, you alright? And I was like, yes! I have just been given tickets to a movie premiere in Sydney that I really want to go to. It's Saturday, 2 days from now. And he was like, oh, I can give you the night off if you want. I was like, yeah! Give me the night off! I will take it! So I had the night off. I had tickets. I don't live in Sydney though. I don't even live in the same state as Sydney. So that was a little predicament that I was in. And then I remembered, hey, I can drive! Australia is like this big, right? Well, it's a lot bigger than that, I mean, if it was this big, I wouldn't be able to fit. I'm a little bit bigger than this. But Australia's like this big. And I live here, right? Sydney is up here. It looks like a short drive. It's not! It's long as fuck! So I was like, I can't do that by myself. So I called one of my best friends while we were both working, by the way. I don't know why my boss allowed me to use my phone so much, but that happened. So I called up one of my best friends and I was like, hey! Do you feel like going to Sydney with me? And he was like, yeah, alright. When? I was like, tomorrow night? And he was like, yeah, okay, why not? So I had a way there, I had tickets, and I had a friend to help me drive, because golly, that's a long drive. So, we set things in motion. The next day, I woke up at 5 a.m. to start working, and I worked all through the day. This is Friday, by the way. I worked all through the day, and into the night. It was about 10:30 p.m. when my boss said I could leave, because we close later than that. But around 10:30, he said I could leave, and I was like, yeah! So I got in my car, and I started it, because that's what you do. You can't go anywhere unless you start the car. And I drove an hour and a half, I believe, roughly an hour and a half to my friend's work to pick him up. I was already tired by this point. So I drove an hour and a half to go hang out. I drove an hour and a half to hang out. No. I drove an hour and a half to go pick up my friend from his work, where we went and dropped his car off at a friend's house. And then we drove 13 hours all night into Sydney. I had never been to Sydney before, but it was a beautiful city. Yeah, so 13 hours, we shared the driving. By that I mean I drove for like an hour and a half after I picked my friend up, and then I was like, no, I'm done. No, I'm done. So what was that? So he drove the rest of the way. We stopped at 5 a.m. to go to the bathroom, and my friend wanted some food. He didn't get food. We went to the bathroom, and then it was off to Sydney. And we were just on the outskirts of Sydney at this point, and I was like, yeah, I'll drive. So I drove, and I don't like driving in the city that much. I prefer to use public transport when it comes to going into the city. And a lot of you are probably saying, why didn't you fly? Yeah, because it was a really last-minute decision, and I did not want to fork out the money for plane tickets. I'm a cheap ass. So, that pretty much sums up that. So, we got into Sydney around 7:30, 8 a.m., and I was like, oh my gosh, I want a shower so badly. Mind you, we didn't have a hotel. We didn't have anything. We found a parking garage, which was free, which was nice. And then we went in there, and I was like, you know what? I gotta change. This is disgusting. I'm gross. So I ran to the back of the car, and I just started pulling clothes out of my suitcase. I was smart enough to pack a lot of clothes because I did not want to be all stinky and gross. So, changed out of my clothes. My friend changed into different clothes as well. We brushed our teeth. We put on deodorant, and I was like, I tied my hair up, and I was like, no! I don't want my hair tied up for this. I want my hair down. I like my hair down. In case you have noticed, my hair is nearly always down. I like my hair down. So I was really annoyed, and I was like, I gotta find a pharmacy. Because pharmacies, if you don't know, they sell this stuff called dry shampoo. I'm sure every girl, and probably a lot of the guys, know what the heck I'm talking about, so I'm not gonna go into that. So I went and bought some cherry-scented dry shampoo, because that's all they had. And I was like, just trying to, get some of this. Nice. And then I was like brushing my hair, and I was like, oh my god, do I have a white patch? Because I was freaking out that I had this white patch of like dry shampoo in my hair. I didn't. Thank you for that. Jared, I love you. So we went and we found the theater where the event was taking place. It was on like George Street. I don't know. I'm not from Sydney, guys. I don't know what the street names are. So we went there, and it was about an hour before the event actually started. And I was looking around, and there was already cream puffs there. There was rainbow everywhere. These people were amazing. I have never met a more, like, together group of people in my life. They were so awesome. They were all there just being sweethearts for one solid reason, and that was just to see this movie and to meet Natasha Nagle Vanless. Breathing is a thing that I need to do sometimes. So we're standing in line, and my friend went and got himself breakfast. I did not eat. I hadn't eaten since 5 a.m. the day before. I was not going to eat. I was like, oh, I'm so excited. I was running off adrenaline. There was no way that I was going to eat right now. So we started lining up and doing our ticket thing, and then we finally got to go into the theater. And this was where I was like, it's happening. It's real. All this journey was for a thing. Like, this is amazing. And I was talking to my friend explaining, he had no idea who Natasha Nagle Vanless is, what this movie was. I didn't tell him a thing. I just said, hey, come to Sydney with me, and he was like, yeah, sure. So, Jared, I love you, and thank you so much for just running away with me to this random thing that you had no idea about. I love you so much. You're amazing. We were sitting in the theater, and I was kind of explaining a little bit of the stuff of what was going to happen. And out of the corner of my eye, I saw this female person standing, like, just up here behind me. And I was like, she looks really, really familiar, and I don't know why. And I'm looking at this girl out of the corner of my eye like, I know you from somewhere, I just don't know where I know you from. And it was really starting to annoy me. And there were people down the front introducing a lot of different things, like charities and LGBT support groups and a variety of things. Which, thank you all to all those people. You are all amazing, and I love everything you do. But this girl was stuck here, and I'm like, who are you? Why are you standing there, and why do I know you? And then they introduced Natasha Nagle Vanless, and the girl that had been staring at me winked and ran down the thing. And I was like, oh! I had, like, ample time to, like, talk to you right now. And, I was too busy trying to figure out where I knew you from to realize you were the reason I was here. So, that was awkward. I was kind of upset that I did not take that time to actually talk to her. She was standing, like, 2 feet from my head. But then she went down, she introduced the film, and it was awesome. If you've seen my previous video, you would have seen that introduction. Also, sorry about the quality of that video. The camera I was filming on, I dropped it. I dropped it, and, yeah. That was terrible. Yeah. So, she introduced the film and talked a little bit about her character and all that stuff, and then the film started. Obviously, the cameras went away at that point, and, I don't know where she went, but she was tweeting and frickin' Instagramming the whole time. I know, because my phone's bing, 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 bing in my pocket, and I'm like, ah! Stop ringing in my pocket, please! Didn't know what was happening on it. I ended up checking it just after the film, and I was like, oh! Thank you for that! I was sitting next to this lady with the most gorgeous pink curly hair, and I mean, it was beautiful. I loved it. I wanted to play with her hair so bad. I didn't. You're welcome. I went to say you're welcome. There's nobody there. But you're welcome for me not playing with your hair through the entire movie, especially since your girlfriend was sitting next to you. I think I would have gotten punched. Very nice people. Very nice. And then after the film, Natasha came back down to do the Q&A, which really annoyed me. It did. Not for anything that Natasha did at all. She was beautiful, well-spoken, and honestly, if I was in her position, I don't think I would have handled it as well. If you have seen the other video, you will know what I'm talking about. There were certain people in the audience who were some of the most rudest people I have ever met. I was so upset with them. Like, they were acting like they knew her life and her job better than she did. They were calling her out, saying that she was using the incorrect pronouns when she wasn't even talking about them. They were just really, really rude, and that annoys me. I cannot stand it when you have somebody who comes to an event that they don't have to, okay? She did not have to fly 16,000 kilometers in a tin can to be at this event, but she did, okay? So be nice! That's like, I cannot stand when people don't show other people the respect they deserve. And that's just with anybody. If you're talking to anybody, whether they be famous or not, be respectful. But she handled that so well, and props to you, Natasha, for that. Please come back to Australia. We're not all like those few, I promise. Like, it even turned me off asking my questions. I wanted to ask a couple questions, and the way that those people were talking, I was like, yeah, no, I'm not. What if she takes my question the wrong way and I come out like a jackass? So I'm not going to ask anything. I'm just going to sit here and silently plot murdering everybody over there. Well, not actually murdering them. I want to throw a banana at them. Didn't have a banana, but they deserve to be hit in the head with a banana. I swear it. They should have been hit with a banana. But she was fantastic. She was well composed. She was very well spoken. Super sweet. And then the Q&A was over, and part of me was like, oh, thank God that's over. I'm so glad, because these people were being absolute jerks. They were being jerks. Point, just flat out jerks. But I also wanted to talk to her more about stuff and, get to know more about her. But then it was time for the meet and greet, which was amazing. And we stood in line for like 2 hours. Yeah. We stood in line for 2 hours, and it was completely worth it. My friend did not know who she was, so he was like, do I have to get a picture? And I was like, no, you don't have to. He was like, cool. I'm just going to stand here then. And so someone just pulled in my driveway. So I went in, and I was standing there, and I was like, oh my gosh, I'm so excited right now. And I was talking to one of the leaders of the event, and I was like, I am so excited about this. Like, she goes, you're going to get a Natasha and Van this autograph tattoo? And I was like, no! No, I'm not! I already have enough tattoos. So, it was my turn to go in and get to talk to her and meet her, and first thing I did was say thank you. So I got to go in, and I got to meet her and talk to her a little bit, and we talked about a lot of stuff, some of my personal stuff, some of her personal stuff, and no, I will not be sharing any of her personal stuff with you. Sorry. And then there was a certain point where I got a little bit like frazzled and emotional, and the guy had just taken a photograph, and I was like, ugh. So I was like a little bit weepy, and they said, okay, we need you to hurry up now, because more people are waiting. And I was like, oh, okay. And then she was like, no, wait, come back. And she would not let me leave until she knew I was okay. And then the best part of the whole thing happened, where I was like, oh, can I have a hug, please? Is that okay? And she's like, oh my God, yes, thank you for asking. Guys, if you want a hug from somebody, just ask. I mean, the worst they can do is say no. Worst thing you can do is just take it. Like, when you meet somebody and things like this, don't be grabbing their butt. Don't be, like, trying to kiss them on the face. Don't be, like, just being all grabby and handsy. Ask their permission first. It's a pretty simple equation. If you do it without their permission, that's not okay. If you ask, they might say yeah, you'll get your hug. If they say no, it's just your bad luck. So she was very kind. I got a hug, and she gave me a kiss on the cheek, and was like, it's all gonna be good. You're gonna be great. And I was like, thank you so much. Wow. So that concluded me getting to meet her and hang out with her a little bit. She was the sweetest person I've ever met, like literally one of the sweetest people I've ever met in my life. And then after that, it was another 13-hour drive home. Best part was, my friend, who, when we were watching the movie, kept getting an elbow to the chest because he kept, I'm like, no, no. The funniest part of the film was, during a certain scene, if you had seen the movie, the scene right before all the duty hits the fan, there's a certain scene there, and my friend was, and I gave him a good elbow, and he's like, no, ooh, and and then he was just staring at the screen for that, like, 3 minutes, and then he was back. So, you got his attention for a little bit. But, granted, he was very, very tired, and he had been driving a lot. The sun just came straight into my face right now. So then it was the 13-hour drive home, and my friend was like, I got this. And he drove the entire way home, except for where I dropped him off at his house and then drove another hour and a half to my own home, where I believe I got home around 4 or 5 a.m. I Snapchatted this whole thing, by the way. If you don't follow me on Snapchat, there's a link below. And yeah, thank you to Queer Screens, and thank you to the Event Cinema, and thank you to Natasha Negovanlis and the Carmilla series for making this whole entire event possible and allowing me to make this video and tell my story about it. Alright guys, that is enough from me. If you like this video, please hit that thumbs up button, hit that subscribe button if you haven't already, and I will see you very soon for another video.